My best friend might be pregnant, and I was accompanying her to the hospital for a checkup. We just walked out of the OB-GYN department when we ran straight into the SWAT team captain on duty. The moment Chloe saw him, her face went white as a sheet. Oh no. My brother. If he finds out I'm pregnant before marriage, he'll kill me? Before I could process what was happening, she shoved the pregnancy test results into my hands, meeting the man's scrutinizing gaze. Chloe forced an awkward smile. Hey, bro, I'm just here with Eva, her boyfriend. He's so irresponsible. The man's eyes shifted to me. I kept my head down, staring at the floor. Late that night, he showed up at my door, looking haggard, his voice trembling. We were together for 6 months. I never touched you. So whose child is it? When Chloe stuffed her pregnancy test results into my hand, my mind went completely blank. Her voice came through in an urgent whisper. Help me out. Help me out. Please help me out. By the time I snapped back to reality, Ethan had already walked up to us. The nurses passing by were stealing glances at him. The man was dressed in his black SWAT uniform, and his 6'1" frame made his presence even more commanding. His features were sharp and defined. Years of training had given his skin a healthy tan. Pure testosterone. Ethan must have been on duty nearby. Running into us at the hospital seemed to catch him off guard too. Hey, bro, what are you doing here? Chloe bounced over with a bright smile, trying to divert his attention. Ethan's response was characteristically brief. One of my guys got injured. I brought him in. His gaze flickered to the department sign behind us. The words obstetrics and gynecology were impossible to miss. What are you two doing here? Getting a checkup. Chloe's brain kicked into overdrive. We were looking for gynecology but ended up in obstetrics by mistake. My fingers tightened instinctively around the test results, discreetly hiding them behind my back. His presence was overwhelming. I snuck a glance at him. Our eyes met unexpectedly, and I froze. Just then, a nurse walked out of the OB-GYN office and smiled at us. You got your pregnancy test results, right? The doctor is coming right over. Please wait just a moment. Chloe and I. Ethan's gaze dropped, loaded with scrutiny and suspicion. Chloe and I had been best friends for over a decade, so I knew her inside out. And I knew she was terrified of her brother. They came from a single-parent household. Their mother had worked herself to the bone trying to support them, leaving little time for parenting. Ethan was 5 years older than Chloe, and growing up, he'd been stricter with her than their mother ever was. When Chloe was in middle school, their mom passed away from illness. After that, Ethan became her legal guardian. Ethan had always been composed and serious, rarely smiled, and when he disciplined, he didn't hold back. When Chloe's high school romance was discovered, the teacher called Ethan to the school. He played nice in front of the teachers, but once they left campus, he dragged the boy right in front of Chloe. The poor kid was scared out of his mind, swearing up and down that he didn't even like Chloe, that it was just a game, and that he'd stay far away from her from now on. That incident completely shattered Chloe's romantic fantasies about high school love. Ethan rarely knew how to break someone's spirit. Because of this, even though Chloe was now working, she still didn't dare tell her brother about her relationship. Her boyfriend had even proposed a week ago, but Ethan was still completely in the dark. Chloe's excuse was, he's always busy with work and rarely comes home. I want to tell him but can never find the right time. But I knew the real reason. She was afraid Ethan would pull the same terrifying test on her boyfriend that he'd done before. This unexpected pregnancy caught her completely off guard too. Just once. Who knew one time would be all it took? She planned to keep the baby. She would tell Ethan eventually, just not right now. The timing was all wrong. Out of sheer terror of her brother, Chloe had shoved the test results into my hands and blurted out the first thing that came to mind. I'm here with Eva. She continued indignantly. Her boyfriend. Oof. I don't even want to talk about him. Total scumbag. Complete deadbeat. She was on a roll, completely oblivious to how dark Ethan's expression was getting. His gaze shifted to me, like a shadow I couldn't shake. It made my skin crawl. Ethan asked casually. She has a boyfriend. Chloe nodded. Yeah. I've even met him. Ethan fell silent. The atmosphere suddenly felt strange. Just when I thought I couldn't take it anymore, another officer in SWAT gear came running over. Captain. Young's awake. Ethan's expression turned grave. I'll be right there. It was urgent. He didn't have time to say anything more before turning to leave. Chloe let out a long breath of relief. When she saw how shaken I looked, her eyes welled up with emotion. Eva, you're a lifesaver. Tell you what, let's find somewhere private and I'll bow down to you properly. Otherwise I'll feel guilty forever. I couldn't help but laugh. Over the years, I'd taken the fall for her countless times. What was one more? As she always said, isn't that what friends are for? Having someone willing to lie through their teeth for you. I poked her forehead lightly. All right, go see the doctor already. She was perceptive enough to notice something was off with my mood and tried to comfort me. Don't worry. You barely know my brother. He won't make a big deal out of it. As long as we can fool him for now. I'll explain everything later. A nurse called out, and Chloe took the test results and went inside. I stood outside the office, feeling dazed. I turned to look in the direction Ethan had left. Chloe's words echoing in my ears. Don't worry. You barely know my brother ... I couldn't help but let out a quiet sigh. Barely know him? If only she knew just how well I knew him. Chloe and I parted ways after leaving the hospital. Her boyfriend Mark picked her up. They probably had a lot to discuss. I went home and crashed for a few hours. By the time I woke up, it was almost dark. My stomach was growling. I ordered takeout. I'd barely started watching TV when the doorbell rang. The delivery was fast today. I rushed to the door and pulled it open, then froze. Ethan stood at my door, without his black uniform, wearing just a simple white dress shirt. He looked less intimidating, maybe from rushing over. There was a light sheen of sweat on his forehead. He took a few deep breaths and looked up at me. What? Not going to invite me in?